Hello, I'm Robin Gibson, and this is the Harvard House Money Morsel. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us again. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Click the bell so you get a notification of when we're releasing a new video. I'm sitting today with Willie Pelser. Welcome again, Willie.
Thank you, Robin.
So,
it's
Willie,
my first for the year, second for the year.
Yeah, we're filming on Thursday afternoon, the day after the budget. So we thought we were talking about budget, but there was no budget, and we've seen that that's been postponed to March. Was this good news, bad news, and how did the market take it?
Yeah, Robin, the budget that wasn't happening. So, So when it came out that there will be a postponement, the Rand didn't like it. Interesting, the press again, the Rand tanked. Yeah. The Rand just weakened quite a few cents just on the announcement because again, it's uncertainty as to what and why. Yeah. Our bond market locally reacted a little bit, but interesting, our offshore bonds reacted more negatively on the fact that it was postponed. So again, the negative sentiment around it was the press came out and said the budget's been cancelled. That's a wild statement because then it means we don't have numbers again. That type of thing. So at the end, I think by now most people would have seen the press and so on. It was about the VAT specifically, taking it from a 15% rate of charge on VAT to a 17%, which is between the two it is substantial. It's at a time where we need growth in the economy, so that's sort of the counter argument. You're not stimulating growth and so on. No one has seen the papers except those who were privileged to see them in the lead up to the 2 o'clock meeting. So a lot of analysts and so on have said we can't unsee what we've seen. Yes. The speech I've read through because it did become sort of public knowledge. We don't have all the tables. There's chapters, on expenditure, on the income line, and all of those things. We don't have that detail. But what I've read through there is, follow the same argument. Is it would be a benefit to the social environment in South Africa. We're going to increase social grants and all of those things. And I think that was from the Government of National Unity Principle, some of the fighting. So, Robin, I think in summary, one can look at it in two ways. The one is, yes, great positive in the sense that the Government of National Unity is working. Yes. Negative connotation to that is, why is it working after the event? Why didn't it work before? If this was such a boiling point on that, where were the leaders of the various parties beforehand on the issue? So you can see that as a bit of a negative. Yes. But I think at the end of the day, South Africa's consumer won, because, and especially the poor. In a sense, they will be hit on that side, and it's not everybody that gets a social grant. The rest of the budget, what I've looked through, is what we've got accustomed to. Yes. It's slightly less pro-growth, what I read in there, so that would be a concern. So hopefully they'll address it, and 12th of March we'll get all the new factual numbers.
Yes. So, Willie, just maybe help from a viewer perspective. When you say the bonds react negatively, give me an idea as to what that actually looks like in practice. So it was our foreign bonds, so those were the dollar-denominated and euro-denominated bonds, is that right?
Yes. Yeah. So, Robin, what happened, so argument's sake, let's say bond trades at 3%, it's the national bond, so don't confuse it with the 10% level we want. Through the curve, because we've got 3-year maturities, 5 years, 10 years, etc., it weakened on the day by 50 basis points. So that's like 0.5%. Which is a big move. It is a big move, especially if you think it's 3% to 3.5%. I'm just using 3 as sort of an average number, but that's a huge move in bonds. Yes. I haven't seen, as we speak today, what has happened on the market. But that's the vote of, there's a collapse in the Government of National Unity from a foreign perspective. I think that's what they've passed in. But we're not on that page. Yeah. We've seen it. The outworkings of the discussions yesterday.
And really, the local bonds, how did the local bonds move on that?
Robin, I would say unchanged because right on the speech by the speaker who said, this meeting is sort of adjourned, I think we moved 5 basis points or 10 basis points, and later in the afternoon we've made it all back. And the reason we made that back, because on our debt profile, the issuance that we do on a weekly basis, it was announced actually pre the event that won't change in the next financial year. So the bond market said, oh, okay, no problem with the budget from a debt perspective.
Yes. And Willie, many people don't really understand that probably what separates us from a lot of the sort of South American countries that really suffer massive swings in their currencies in the bond market, they only raise money internationally, yet we have this massive local bond market. It does protect us a lot, doesn't it?
Robin, it does, and it speaks to our entrenched savings industry, in that sense, the pension funds, because that's the bulk of buying. So once interest gets distributed, they buy back. Insurance companies, need to match the liability on their books with bonds. So we've got a natural buyer in the South African market. But yes, I'm also standing back if I'm concerned about, call it the debt of government, and I say that the yields will rise, so it will be negative, then I'm also holding back. So weekly, when we auction off these bonds, we look at a concept of how many times is it oversubscribed or undersubscribed, and that gives you a feel of what the investors are thinking from a risk perspective. So if we have a week where the oversubscription is 1 or 2 times, that's sort of on average okay, we're just parking money. But sometimes we have where there were no actually subscription to some of the bonds, and it just shows you that's how we as investors perceive this risk coming.
Yes.
We do have weeks where 5 or 6 times oversubscribed. So Johnny come lately, you wanted bonds, you're not getting. That's how it works.
Which is a good sign.
It is a good sign. It's actually a good sign.
Awesome, Willie. Thank you for giving us that insight. Those of you who are really sharp-eyed will know we've got or noticed that we've got a new piece of furniture here on our shelf. This was the award, one of the Raging Bulls, for the best real estate fund over 5 years on a risk-adjusted basis for the Harvard House BCI Property Fund. So that's been a really satisfying award to get, but it couldn't have been got without clients giving us their trust and their loyalty. And so a great thank you to you. This is as much your award as it is ours. So thank you for joining us. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.